Welcome to this English story. Today, you will practice English with the shadowing technique. This means you will listen to my voice and then you will repeat after me. Try to speak with the same rhythm and feeling. Shadowing helps you improve your pronunciation, confidence, and natural speech. The story you will hear today is simple, emotional, and easy to follow. It is designed for A2 to B1 English learners, so relax, breathe, and repeat the sentences after you hear them. Let's begin the story now. My name is Anna, and this story happened last year. At that time, I was 23 years old, and I lived in a small apartment near my university. I had a part-time job in a cafe and I usually worked late in the afternoons. Life was simple, but I felt happy most days. There was only one thing that always made my days brighter: my boyfriend Leo. We had been together for almost 2 years. Leo was usually kind, gentle, and patient with me. He made silly jokes, cooked simple food, and always walked me home after my cafe shift. He was not perfect, but he was someone who made me feel safe. Because of that, I believed our relationship was strong. My birthday was coming soon, April 17th. For me, birthdays were important, not because of presents, but because of feelings. I didn't need a big party or expensive gifts. All I really wanted was a warm message, a hug, and maybe a small moment together. That was enough for me. And I believed Leo knew that. 2 weeks before my birthday, I started to feel excited. I wanted to spend the day with him. I imagined simple things: breakfast at a small bakery, a walk in the park, and maybe dinner at home. I didn't want anything big. I just wanted time. One night, while we were eating noodles in my apartment, I said, "My birthday's coming soon." Leo looked up and smiled. "Oh yeah? April something?" He laughed a little, maybe to tease me. I laughed back, but inside, a small worry touched my heart for a moment. He knew my birthday every year. Why did he suddenly forget the date? But I shook the thought away. Maybe he was just tired from work. Leo worked in a small tech company, and he often looked exhausted after long meetings. So I told myself not to worry. The days passed slowly. My excitement grew. I tried not to talk too much about my birthday, but I hoped he was planning something small. Even a handwritten note would be enough. Finally, my birthday arrived. The morning sun was soft and warm. I woke up with a smile. My first thought was, maybe Leo sent me a message already. I opened my phone. Nothing? No message, no call. No little happy birthday text. I stared at my phone for a long moment. Then I told myself, it's okay. Maybe he's still sleeping. But I knew Leo usually woke up early for his job. At 9 a.m., still no message. At 10 a.m., nothing. At 11 a.m., I finally received a message from him. But it said, "Hey, I'm already at work. Meeting is crazy today. Talk later." Just that. Just those words. No birthday greeting. My chest felt tight. I read the message again and again, hoping maybe I missed something. But no. It was plain, simple, and cold. Still, I tried to stay calm. I told myself he must be busy. So I made breakfast alone and watched the clock move slowly. Time felt heavy. I didn't want to be dramatic. but I couldn't stop feeling hurt. At around 2 p.m., I decided to go for a walk. I didn't want to stay home and feel sad. The park near my apartment was quiet and peaceful. Children were playing, couples were laughing, and old people were feeding birds. I sat on a bench and watched them. I whispered to myself, "Why did he forget?" It wasn't anger I felt. It was something softer, more painful, disappointment. After the walk, I went to work at the cafe. My coworkers knew it was my birthday, so they gave me a cupcake and sang softly. I smiled, but my heart wasn't fully there. At 6 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Leo. "Hey, I'll come by later. I'm really tired." Still nothing about my birthday. I stared at his message for a full minute. My hands felt cold. I finally wrote, "Okay." When my shift ended, I walked home slowly, hoping maybe, just maybe, he remembered and was planning a surprise. Maybe he wanted to keep it secret until evening. I tried to believe that. At 8 p.m., Leo arrived at my apartment. He looked tired, with dark circles under his eyes. He walked in, dropped his bag, and collapsed on the sofa. "Wow, what a day," he sighed. Then he grabbed the remote and started scrolling through TV shows. I sat beside him quietly. Minutes passed. He didn't say anything special. He didn't look at me with warm eyes. He didn't notice my quiet sadness. Finally, after 10 long minutes, I whispered, "Do you know what day it is today?" He paused. He looked at me. He smiled a little and said, Wednesday?" My heart fell. He really forgot. My chest felt tight, and my eyes became warm with tears. I tried to keep my voice calm, but it trembled. "It's my birthday, Leo." His eyes widened. His mouth opened slightly. He sat up quickly. "Wait, what? Today? Seriously? Anna, But I couldn't listen. Tears finally fell down my face. I wasn't angry. I was hurt. "You didn't even send a message," I said softly. "You didn't remember at all." Leo looked lost. He held his head in his hands. "Anna, I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I didn't mean to forget. Work has been so stressful. I'm tired all the time. My brain feels slow lately." I knew he was telling the truth. I could see the exhaustion in his eyes, but the pain in my heart didn't disappear. "I didn't want anything big," I said. "I just wanted you to remember." He moved closer and took my hands gently. "I know. And I messed up. I'm really sorry." His voice was warm and full of guilt. For a moment, we sat quietly. I wanted to forgive him, but the hurt was still fresh. I needed time. "I'm not angry," I whispered. "I just felt invisible today." He held my hands tighter. "You're not invisible to me. You're the most important person in my life. I made a mistake. I'll do better." My tears fell again, but this time they were softer. After a long moment, Leo stood up. "Give me 10 minutes, he said. I didn't know what he was doing, but he rushed out of the apartment. 10 minutes later, he returned, breathing heavily, with a small cake, one candle, and a single yellow flower. The cake box was not perfectly closed, and the flower looked a little bent, but I could see he had run as fast as he could. He placed the cake in front of me and lit the candle. "I know this doesn't change the day," he said gently, "but I want to try. Happy birthday, Anna." His voice shook a little, like he was afraid I wouldn't forgive him. I looked at him for a long moment. He looked nervous, tired, worried, and hopeful all at once. And in that moment, something inside me softened. I realized something important. People make mistakes, even the people we love the most. And sometimes they forget important things, not because they don't care, but because life becomes heavy. I took a breath and smiled softly. "Thank you," I whispered. "It means a lot." He smiled with relief. We ate the cake together. It was small, sweet, and messy, but it felt special. Not because of what it was, but because of the effort behind it. Later, Leo hugged me tightly. "I promise I'll remember next year," he said. I laughed a little. "I'll remind you a week before," I joked. We both laughed quietly. The sadness faded and warmth returned. Before we went to sleep, Leo said something I will never forget. "Love isn't perfect," he whispered, "but it's real, and I'm learning every day how to love you better." That moment touched my heart deeply. It reminded me that relationships grow through honest mistakes, gentle forgiveness, and sincere effort. That night, I learned something important. Sometimes life hurts us in small ways, but it also teaches us how strong our hearts can be. If someone truly cares, they will try, learn, and grow with us. And we also learn to give second chances, not because we are weak, but because love is stronger when we choose understanding over anger. That was the day my boyfriend forgot my birthday. But it was also the day I learned how love becomes more real, through imperfect moments. Great job listening to this story. You practiced English using the shadowing technique, and you followed an emotional, simple, and meaningful story. Your speaking improves every time you repeat and follow the rhythm. If you want to keep getting better, listen again tomorrow and shadow the lines one more time. Thank you for learning with me today. I hope this story gave you helpful English practice and also a warm message for life. Don't forget to watch the next story. See you in the next video.